Alright guys, here we go. We're back in it. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Mysteen today. We were messing around with Mysteen. We were talking to somebody just about Mysteen and our artifacts and stuff like that. Previously, Mysteen I thought was just, average character, she's kind of some defensive options, she can get around and stuff like that. But what we learned, through the power of artifacts is she might actually be very powerful. Right, so we were messing around with some artifacts and stuff like that. So I want to go ahead and just show you guys this build, and then we're gonna go ahead and go into it, and then I'm gonna show you some more footage, basically Mysteen and stuff like that. So for this first artifact here, we have Hunter's Idol. This is the one that's kind of the only one that's up in the air. When we were playing, there's some other options, that you can use as well. You can use Gemstone Elixir, which I personally don't recommend, just because the way that I play Mysteen based on this build is I always try to want to be hovering, right? So I kind of want to hover a lot and not really be on the ground that much. So, but Gemstone Elixir is still a good option when you are on the ground. I'm going to talk about Hunter's Idol because that's the one I have equipped. I personally equip this because it's the most defensive option here, right? So if you do get hit, you'll take 10% less damage, and the impulse received when you do take damage is decreased by 10%. So what does that mean exactly? You'll take 10% less damage, and the actual push will be 10% less, which is great, right? And I really noticed this when I don't run this on some characters. I currently don't run this on my Rev, totally different topic, but the impulse is definitely noticeable when the 10% number. And then we have Axle Fan, Rocket Jump Strength. I personally haven't really used this. Some other people do, and they really enjoy it because it'll definitely lift her a lot more. And I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce this, but you also have this amulet too, which is move 20% faster while Mega Blast Danger. The thing is, if you're in Mega Blast Danger, I feel like 20%, it's a lot, right? Don't get me wrong. But how often, you're going to be in Mega Blast Danger, so it's probably my second choice, don't get me wrong. But I opted for the Hunter's Idol because I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm in Mega Blast Danger. And if I am in Mega Blast Danger, then, I want something that's always active versus something that's only active at a certain period of time that's really powerful, right? It's not like this is a usable ability either, right? It's only active in Mega Blast Danger, but it's very powerful. So if you want to go a little faster, you can rock that. Now, the other two are the ones that, are the primary ones, right? So you have air movement speed increased by 15%. This is just massive. And we'll show you why here when we get into it. And then we also have Juking Jukebox. Air strength jump is increased by 15% while moving in the same direction, right? And this is huge as well. And one thing to note too is these idols and stuff like that, when they're level 1, if you haven't leveled these at all, because I personally didn't have these level, well, these two I didn't have level because I wasn't really using them. They're good, but they're not as good. For example, if you see here, the air movement for the level 1, air movement speed increased by 10%, right? But then when you go to level 3, it's 15%. So that's a 50% increase from the level 1. So it's a noticeable difference. So when you get these to level 3, it'll be a lot more difficult and it'll be a lot different. And the same thing with this, 10% to 15%, right? It's a noticeable chunk of difference. And so we're gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to private match and just show you what we're doing. We're actually doing on this map because this is really incredible what you can actually do on this map as Mysteen, which we didn't even realize until we were kind of messing with it. With this speed build. This speed build, she becomes so fast. It's all because of an ability you kind of just look over on Mysteen. It's something you don't see it in your kit. It's not something you really think about. It's just, just the way she is. And we'll show you this. Here, Mysteen. Great. And keep in mind, I'm no Mysteen expert. This is just the build we discovered, and I thought it was really powerful. And personally, I think this will be the build that people will run on her. In my opinion, not getting shot is the way to play this game. So you do what you can to not get shot. I think at very high level, this game will be based around whoever lands their first shot and just keeps juggling them up in the air, right? So you never want to get hit in the first place, right? So that's kind of the goal here. Alright, cool. So what we're going to show you here, let me just show you how this works, right? So I don't even know if it says it here. It doesn't say anything about this. So Mysteen actually has this thing. When she jumps, it's a little different, right? She can actually float here. So you see this, guys? So she can float. But what's great is with these artifacts is you can do this. And you can see how fast she is here. And she can just float across like that. And that's pretty fast to go across the map like that, right? You can just go and get across here. It's so great. And that's another thing too. If you're fighting someone as well, you can just, you know, try to hit me. You know, and if you throw that, it's ridiculous. And then if you really think you're gonna get hit, you can use your shield on her, or you can use your shift. So she has a lot of defensive options here, right? You can go like this, shift, and another thing is too, you know, you can really just keep going. Shift, yeah, it's amazing. She's just like so fast when you do this as well, and yeah, that's why we were running movement on her, is this whole ability that just gets overlooked completely. And you can just move around and get to people. Defensive op, you can either, you know, play defensively, you know, by moving around, or you can go for the kill, right? So say you're playing against like a Plink and he teleports. You can just go, get to the Plink, or you can follow a Flux around pretty easily, right? You can just go, okay, you're gonna do that Flux, you're gonna be in that other form, and you can just follow her. And it's just really fast using this movement speed build, right? And especially, you know, that's the whole thing with going the same movement direction, so you can just really float and get around here and do some real shenanigans here. So yeah, but yeah, I'm not like a matchup expert or anything like that. I just want to show you guys this quick movement speed build that I think is really powerful and is probably getting overlooked right now, and what people will probably be using here in the near future. So yeah, that's kind of it, guys. Thanks. And enjoy.